All right, let's get this Detroit Lions must-win prediction versus Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going down to Duval County to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have been having fans in attendance as well. Let's get to it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. They had an injury list for last week. Whoever they played last week, I think it was Houston. They had a ton of injuries, but they lost to Houston. They've been losing lately. They started off pretty good, beating out the Indianapolis Colts, which went on to be a pretty solid football team this year. But let's get into it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. When looking at this game for the Lions, it's kind of a trap game. Minshew can easily tear up this defense. He good with his legs. He pretty good with his arm. They got a running back, rookie out of Illinois State, Jerome Robinson, who's been doing really good. DJ Shark got hurt last week. Not sure if he came back. Really good receivers. Shark, Cole. They got Tyler Eifert from Cincinnati, injury-prone tight end. Good football team defensively. A lot of different faces. No more Calais Campbell. I think Malik Jackson left a few years ago. They still got Miles Jack. Not sure if he's still active. C.J. Henderson, the quarterback that went to Florida, came from Florida. Rookie that went after, I think he was the next cornerback that went after Jeff Okudah. So they had a team that had talent, but they pretty much traded all the talent. Ramsey, A.J. Boye, Tayshaun Gibson over the years. They got rid of a lot of their talent, and now they pretty much rebuilding, and we need to know if Gardner Minshew is a quarterback of the future. But when looking at this game for the Jaguars, I mean, you're looking at a defense that's been pathetic. They off defensive coordinator, the Lions, Corey Ulan, says that their defense hasn't really been a beta male defense. He think the aggressiveness is still pretty good with the Lions, which either he lying or he definitely on coke or some other drug. But if I'm the Jaguars, I like to give perspective for both teams. I really want to run Jerome Robinson, play action, look for Eifert, if Shark gonna play, Cole, whoever I'm looking for. So we got a defense who don't defend the pass well, a defense who don't stop the run. Then, pretty much we're gonna run it down their throats, play action, and really do it. And defensively, for them, it's just hopefully you get some pressure on Stafford, you can stop the run, and really play the pass well. So defensively, I just don't know where Jacksonville is at. They played a tight game for a minute with Houston, and Houston pulled away last year, so they susceptible to giving up the big play with a lot of new faces in the secondary. Both they 1 and 2 cornerbacks were gone from last year. A.J. Boye think he with Denver and haven't heard much from this year. And Jalen Ramsey, obviously the highest paid corner. He's over there in L.A. So when you look at this game for Lions, it's definitely a must win. If you can't beat the Jaguars, then hopefully Sheila can find some common sense and fire Matt Patricia. I think if she didn't fire him before the bye, it wasn't going to happen till at least Thanksgiving. And Jacksonville is a team that you must beat if you have any ambitions on being a playoff team. And what they do well is, Gardner Minshew go out there and play backyard football. He can deliver. They beat the Colts, which I think is a better team, than the Detroit Lions. But you want to go out there offensively. And Darrell Bevel said about Stafford's footwork that it hasn't been good, and that's why Stafford has been inaccurate. It's not the back injury. But you want to go out there, and you got some young corners and young secondary. It really should be a fun day for Kenny Galladay, Matthew Stafford, T.J. Hawkinson, Danny Amendola, and Marvin Jones. You got a secondary that's young. You don't really have the pass rush that you had last year. So that offensive line has been doing pretty good for Stafford. Should be able to hold up right. If they want to get a fan out of me again, a real good fan, then they need to start using DeAndre Swift. But should be a good game for the Lions to open up the offense. They should go out there and blow out the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though historically the Lions really don't blow out teams that they expected to blow out. But it's a good game for them. It's a good game. It should be, everything they put on the bye. The Houston Texans whooped the Jaguars. They traveled from Houston. They traveled to Jacksonville to back home. They're a team that got a lot of injuries. Look at the injury reports, a ton of them from last week. They got a quarterback that they may or may not believe in. They got some talented weapons, but really their defense is really not what it used to be. So this should be a week that, Matthew Stafford go out there and go bombs over Baghdad like Outcast. He should throw 5 or 6 touchdowns, and they might should rush for 1 or 2 unless, maybe he should throw for 4 if that happens. He got a great matchup with Marvin, great matchup for Galladay, great matchup with Hawkinson. And I'm very concerned if Matthew Stafford doesn't go off this week. It's a very, very big concern because if this team doesn't do well versus Jacksonville, a team that's just be getting their ass kicked up and down every National Football League field they play on, it's very, very concerning. And the team is already up for concern, you know what I'm saying? Defense, damn, they're dead last and everything. Offense, Matthew Stafford has looked horrible this year. Some people say it's the back, but he's always been inaccurate. When it's time to win the game, he's just always kind of made bad plays. And sometimes he make a good play here and there, but, to me personally, he's been the problem. And when you look at the situation with the Lions, everybody has changed. The O-line has changed over and over again, the defense, the receivers. But the one thing that hasn't changed is the long snapper and, Matthew Stafford. But I think this week, he should be able to get on point. Fantasy lover, I'll give some fantasy advice later on this week. But I think I'll be saying Hawkinson have a big game every week this year. But it just hasn't really happened for him. But it's a good week for Galladay. He should have a monster week. And, if they want to run AP and keep running AP, so be it. But I think DeAndre Swift should be in there running the ball. And if he play him, he should have a huge day on Sunday. And defensively, when you look at the game, you want to stop Jerome James or whatever his name is, you want to stop him. Other than that, they got some playmakers on the outside. If you don't get to Gardner Minshew, he'll buy time with his feet. He going to make some plays. So I think Gardner Minshew is probably going to have a big game Sunday. They don't believe in pressuring in Detroit at all with the Lions. And I think Minshew is going to have a huge game. He probably going to have a shootout with Stafford, even though I feel the Lions should win by 2 or 3 touchdowns against his team. But I think, to stop Minshew, you really want to pressure him up the middle. You really want to, really keep contained because he can't move around and buy some time with his legs. His eyes always downfield. He can break and run. Other than that, got some good receivers, DJ Shark, Cole, Tyler Eifert. They got playmakers all over the field. And to be honest, their receivers might be better than our corners at this point. We should get Coleman back Sunday. And Trufant is back. He should be a little bit more healthier with a bye week. But they're a tough football team. They put up some points. They still, pretty solid coached, even though this probably definitely going to be Doug Marrone's last year there. But, to be honest, it should be just a team that if the defense is going to do anything, they need to really, show it this game in Jacksonville. So they ain't got to worry about it probably being too hot down there and dealing with the humidity in Florida. Special teams has been very, very consistent this year. The only thing we haven't seen on special teams is the big return. And like Agnew ain't returning the ball good anymore. It looked like, he ain't contributing on offense either. So, special teams doing good other than the explosive touchdown plays or big runs. But, in all, playing Jacksonville this week is a make or break game. If they lose this game, definitely 100% Matt Patricia should be fired at some point this season. Can I see them losing this game? Anything is possible, Patricia. But you got a team that's wounded, a team that's injured, a team that's tired, a team that's probably ready to give up on Doug Marrone if they haven't already given up after seeing Ramsey, Oboye, Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson years ago leave, and Gibson. And basically this team has shown that they're committed. They're also cutting Leonard Fournette. They committed to basically rebuilding. So they committed to getting the number 1 pick in the draft or something of that nature. So when you're talking about a team that we're going to have to compete with for the number 1 pick, this might be a better situation for fans that believe that the Lions should tank for the Lions to lose. But some people believe they still got a championship or at least a playoff caliber team. But I don't see that out this team. I've seen flashes of it, but you lose this game, I think it should be the fire sale should be in full effect. Stafford, if you ain't going to pay Galladay, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Even considering TJ Hawkinson. You're not utilizing him the right way. Why are you going to hold him back? He's a great tight end with a lot of great potential, but you lose to this football team. And if you lose to this football team, it's over with. Patricia, it should be, even if they don't announce it, his fate should be sealed. No way Bob Quinn should survive. But if there are keys to this game before I finish on that note, it's going to be exploiting the secondary, exploiting the young defense, running the ball, and Stafford really winning the football game with his arm. Defensively, containing Gardner Minshew, keeping him in the pocket. That's really what it boiled down to. You control Minshew, you stop James Jones, or James Robinson, whatever his damn name is. Jerome James, You stop him. You keep contained with Gardner Minshew. You win the football game. You don't mess up on special teams. Don't let a big return go. If you get a big return, that's good. That's just what it boiled down to. This is a elementary. Remember that off Madden? It's easy. It's easy. It's easy game. You're not facing Watson. You're not facing Mahomes. But guess what? It's up to Corey. It's gonna probably be down to Corey Uland and Matt Patricia to make Gardner Minshew look like Jackson, Mahomes. Even though Allen getting his ass kicked right now, I'm doing this video a little bit early, so pretty honestly, I think the Lions should blow this football team out. I really do. I think the Lions should blow the doors off the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I think there's going to be a shootout. If you play daily fantasy sports, or you got some Jaguars or Lions in your fantasy, or you got something on the waiver wire, get them. I think there's going to be a high-scoring football game. I think this game might be in the 40s, maybe even in the 50s. I think they combine the score over whatever the over-under is. So I haven't looked at right. This game might be the highest scored NFL game this season. They probably can get into the hundreds damn near. I think this is going to be a shootout as long as it don't rain. I think Stafford going to go shot for shot with Gardner Minshew. And I think Minshew is going to make a critical turnover. And Stafford is basically going to win this game. I think this game is going to be 45-48 to Detroit Lions. I think it's going to be a shootout. I know it's a huge prediction. I'm pretty sure the Jaguars probably didn't even put up 40 points this year. I don't think the Lions put up 40 points this year, but I think it's going to be a massive shootout. And I think Matthew Stafford is going to be the cowboy, a lone ranger, standing last. So I like the Lions 45-48. Matt Prater could win the game with a field goal. Well, he extends the lead with a field goal, or he gives them the lead, and I think Gardner Minshew throws a pick, and we seal the game. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, query, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, query, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. One time for the one time. Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.